So it appears as though the regret is already starting for the Trump supporters, because tell me why. Back in 2016, I had a friend that I am clearly no longer friends with, and her mom started an argument with me in my Facebook comment section the day after Trump got elected back then, telling me, imagine how they felt when Obama was elected. And I said, oh, no, baby. And then I clocked her teeth. And let me just tell you guys, young Phoebe didn't play, because why was my first sentence, first of all, why are you 40 arguing with a 16-year-old? And second of all, while we're here, let me present to you all of the ways in which I know more than you. I say this all to say I opened my phone today and she has sent me an apology 10 years later. And it wasn't quite clear if she was apologizing for the lack of morality or for the fact that she was 40 arguing with a 16-year-old back then. But I politely let her know that maybe reconciliation isn't the best idea right now, because if she thought I was nasty back then, she really shouldn't try talking to me about politics in 2025. Is it happening? Are they seeing the consequences of their actions?
The big vote on the files is tomorrow, and you better believe the Orange Clown is panicking. But it's not for the reasons you might think. Obviously, it's going to be bad for him. We know what he did to those girls. What he's panicking about is the big promise that he made to a lot of very important and very wealthy people. And that promise was, if they used their billions to help him get installed into office, he would make sure that those files were never released. Because Jeffrey became a billionaire by blackmailing other billionaires, and there are a lot of billionaires and millionaires who gave money to the Orange Clown. And the emails are not what they're afraid of. What they're afraid of are the bank records and the videotapes, but I'm a little worried that those were all destroyed. The bank records are what they don't want you to see. Now, in 2013, Jeffrey became a client of Germany's Deutsche Bank after U.S. banks wouldn't do business with him anymore. Oh, you know who else was a longtime client of Deutsche Bank? The Orange Clown. Now, Deutsche Bank is known for being a little lax with its standards. They have clients that are Russian oligarchs, shady billionaires, criminals. Now, over the next 5 years, the bank opened about 40 accounts for Jeffrey, including the Butterfly Trust. That account was used to send money to individuals connected to his trafficking operation. Between 2014 and 2018, that trust moved millions of dollars. And what you really want to know are the names of the individuals who sent and received money in that trust. And all of that information is in the victims' civil suits. Those documents exist, but they're under a protection order. They include financial statements, transaction records, and internal memos related to Jeffrey's business dealings at the bank. Now, because of the settlement agreements, the full records from Deutsche Bank were never made public, but they were preserved, and they absolutely can be made public. Now, imagine this. The majority of America already hates the Orange Clown and wants him removed. Now, imagine if he pisses off the billionaires, the oligarchs, his foreign buddies, all the guys that helped him get into office, all because of that one promise he made them. And he's about to break that promise because he can't stop the release of the files. And if the people who are truly in charge, the people really pulling the strings, have no more use for the Orange Clown, well, bye-bye, Orange Clown. Hope you don't stand too close to any windows. You know, how they do in Russia.
Truth Social made everyone start to sign up for accounts in order to see the things that people are posting, mainly the Dollar Tree dictator. So what happens? Everyone infiltrates Truth Social, starts accounts, and now their posts are so just shitty towards the Dollar Tree dictator. And a lot of users are using their real names. A lot of them are Republican-backed, maybe former MAGA and current MAGA members who are very publicly putting up polls and ratios in regards to how they feel about the Dollar Tree dictator. Now, I'm no rocket scientist, but I don't fear it, but I believe that his party is beginning to turn and things are about to get real. So stay tuned, get your popcorn.
Yes, it is definitely true. People are leaving MAGA. Hey, everybody, it's Rich here at Leaving MAGA, leavingmaga.org. If you spend a lot of time online like I do, because I am chronically online, it is happening. there are more and more posts and accounts I see from people saying that they were staunch Trump supporters, MAGA supporters, who have finally had enough of the lies, and there's been one betrayal too many, and they're leaving. And this remorse and regret, they're real. And I know that it's admittedly hard to gauge exactly how many people are leaving. It's hard to know how many people have quietly left, people who are quietly having doubts. But if we're seeing online more and more people talking about their changing of their mind and not supporting Trump anymore, if they're doing it publicly, then it has to mean that there are more people than we realize doing it privately. So make sure you check out our website at leavingmaga.org. You can read 24 different testimonials of people who, like me, were deep in MAGA, they were a true believer, and for a variety of reasons wound up leaving. So make sure you get into our website at leavingmaga.org. You can follow us on our socials. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter, and make sure you're checking out our new memoir. My book just recently came out. It's entitled One Betrayal Too Many, Why I Left MAGA. It's available at Amazon right now. Book sales are doing really well. So thank you to all of you out there who are supporting this book. So until next time, appreciate all of you watching. As always, thanks for your support. And yes, it's true. People are leaving MAGA with more on the way. Thanks, everyone.
Somebody, please explain to me, who raised these people? What the fuck is wrong with them?
We are huge Trump supporters. If you didn't get the email on Monday, you're safe. And I'm like skipping down the halls, right? Like, I get to stay. Wednesday, late afternoon, I received a notice that I have an appointment, a Teams appointment with my supervisor on Friday at 9 o'clock. So I knew that I wasn't safe anymore.
You were skipping down the hall. You were so excited when you thought you were safe. You knew others were suffering and gonna suffer, but you knew you were safe. You were cool with it.
Cutting costs and waste and fraud and. We love that big picture. I love that big picture. My friends, we were excited about that because it is true.
I could just picture you and your friends, glasses of cheap fucking wine, just laughing over others and how others are gonna get affected.
The common theme is, we voted for this. You knew this was coming, but we didn't. Like, nobody that I've talked to understood the devastation that having this administration in office would do to our lives, but other people that we love and care about too within the Mid-Ohio Valley.
It's only when you're affected that you actually feel bad about something. You don't have any regrets for everyone else. It's that you got affected. You're despicable. You're disgusting. How does it feel?
It's hard. It's wrecking.
Good.
People hear I'm a Southern Democrat. I usually lose them because they think either I'm uneducated or that I'm some devil-loving cult person. My education is what made me a Democrat. I have a bachelor's degree from the University of Alabama, Deep South. It's like in the South, as soon as you hear the word liberal, people just assume that you're this like weirdo that doesn't work with societal standards, or you're a pushover and you want to live in this like socialist society. Don't get me wrong, some people do, but most of us don't. Believe it or not, a lot of us do actually own firearms. I got a full safe of them in there. I have my CHL. Have never carried, never felt like I needed to, but I went ahead and took the course, got the license, because as the owner to multiple firearms, it is my responsibility to know how to operate, store, clean, care for properly. And none of the firearms in our house are high-capacity semi-automatic rifles. In other words, not a single one of our firearms would have been banned in the federal assault weapons ban. So being a liberal doesn't mean that you worship the devil. It truly doesn't. Most of my friends are Christian. I personally was raised Church of Christ. And when I say I was raised Church of Christ, I mean I was in Sunday school every Sunday, then church. Sometimes we went to church on Sunday evenings. Sometimes we went to church on Wednesday evenings. I went to church camp every single summer. We did youth group retreats. We did youth nights, all that jazz. Wouldn't say I was raised evangelical, but I was evangelical adjacent. We were walking very, very close paths. Anyway, as I've gotten older and looked into things and become my own independent thinker, I personally am agnostic, but I don't have a single problem with anyone that has any kind of spirituality or belief that's different than mine, as long as your belief doesn't infringe upon the rights of others. I think there's this idea that liberals want this like loving world peace where we're just all holding hands and singing Kumbaya, and like in reality that's never gonna happen. We're not stupid. Liberals aren't stupid. There's a reason that not a single one of the US major metropolitan cities is conservative. Just do the math there. It's like the conservatives are a little bit upset because we're coming out like we're coming out hot. But that's because for years we have been seen as the party of peace, and it's getting us fucking nowhere. That strategy is not working anymore. My parents were registered Republicans until the 2020 election. And to this day, I have a very special place in my heart for George Bush. You cannot tell me he's not the cutest thing ever. He just paints and smokes a little J. It's fantastic. Being a Southern liberal isn't the most popular thing, obviously. But one thing we are is fucking passionate. And Democrats have been playing the long game for a long time. Thanks for hanging out with me. I love you.
Our country is being flooded by who knows what, bringing whatever diseases in.
Why do we have to have open borders? Who decided that we have to have open borders?
I'm here in the merch hall at CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference. We're here to find out why people came out today to hear a speech from Hungary's authoritarian Prime Minister, Viktor Orban. Here's what they had to say.
What did you think when he said that Hungary doesn't want to be mixed race people?
He said refugees were welcomed, but illegal aliens, and that's what they are not welcomed. People are not allowed to just come into his country and take it over and take advantage like they do here. There's nothing wrong with that. And no, I'm not a white nationalist.
Isn't that frightening to you? We don't want to be a mixed race people?
It doesn't frighten me at all. I like going to France and having French food and French cuisine. And then I like to go to Britain and I like to have the same thing.
That's not really a racial issue, though.
Yeah, but I mean, what's wrong with keeping your country true to yourself?
I don't want the world here either.
Honestly, I feel like we're kind of full up here anyways. You try to drive on our roads. They're busy. You try to get in anywhere. It's super busy. I think that sometimes you can cut it off.
Not proud of it. Man enough to say it. I was one of those guys back in 2020, 2024, shit, even 2016 before I could vote.
Oh boy, another one of these videos where I voted for him 3 times and now that I can't vote for him no more, I don't support him. But let's see what he has to say.
I was all for Trump. I was all for MAGA. I believed he was going to make America great again. I believed he was going to drain the swamp. I thought he was going to be different. He wasn't a career politician. And boy, was I wrong. My views didn't change. They still remain the same.
Nah, don't hold me back. Don't hold me back. Come on. I got something for you. Come here. Let me talk to you. So your views are still the same. You still support the guy. Like, I don't think you get it. Like, don't have to, bro, come on. You didn't learn nothing. Actually, I ain't done with you. Come here. Come on. Give me. Come here. I don't know what it's gonna take for y'all to wake up, but y'all gotta wake up, man. Dang, bro, you got me sweating, man. Go clean yourself up, bro.
Not a single person who voted for Donald Trump regrets it. The left has nothing left but lies.
Are you sure about that?
Riley, do you now regret the way you voted for Trump?
I do feel regret, and I've had a lot of tumultuous thoughts about that day.
She was a single issue voter. She voted for Trump because of her infertility issues. And now she's having regrets. I wonder if anyone else has regrets. This family is regretting their choice for voting for Trump because they voted for him, but now their farm is in trouble. And this Trump voter also regrets their vote. So does this one. Now sure, there are people that don't regret their vote for Trump, like this guy whose wife got deported by ICE. And even though he didn't think that it would happen to him, he still doesn't regret his vote for Trump. And honestly, that's probably the most shocking case of them all. Because when you vote for Trump because of immigration, and then your own wife gets deported due to her immigration status, and you still support the man responsible for doing so, now that is some serious cult-type dedication.
Politico reported this week that the Republicans have their issue to use against Democrats in the midterms. The issue is this. Republicans are going to call the Democrats communists. Like it's 1950. Communists. I read my hometown newspaper every day, the Newcastle News. I don't know why, but I do. And there was an article in this paper about this Mexican restaurant that's up near where my mom and dad used to live. I love this place, El Canelo. Terrific food, great staff, They're all Mexican immigrants, and they are magnificent. And they've done well, and they've opened like 4 or 5 restaurants around the whole area now. So somebody wrote in the paper that they left a tip, and the waiter told them, oh, the tips all go to the owner. That's not cool. And then in the comment section, somebody wrote, that's socialism. I never comment because most people are idiots. I felt compelled to comment, and I said, actually, that's capitalism. Socialism would be if the workers owned the restaurant. The Republicans are banking on the notion that Americans don't have any idea what the difference is between socialism and communism. Republicans are counting on people being stupid and conflating and confusing socialism with communism. Like, does anybody really believe that the Democratic Party wants the country to be like North Korea or like Cuba? Of course not. And that's why this thing is not going to stick. But with that said, the Republicans are not going to do as poorly in these midterm elections as people think they are.
Both leftists and MAGA love hating on liberals, but they're not referring to the same group of people. I posted about this yesterday, and it got a lot of people asking and talking about, well, what does liberal even mean? So when a conservative uses the term, it can refer to anyone left of them on the political spectrum. But when a leftist uses the term, there are many different meanings it could have. They could be referring to establishment Democrats. They could be referring to just generally capitalists. And the reason for that is there is the academic meanings of liberal and generally like what is societally accepted as liberal. And we're at this weird linguistic inflection point where there's too many meanings on one term. And that's like when a term gets overloaded, and eventually there's like a new term that's born, or there's some kind of clarification that gets made. And we're at that inflection point because when people use it online, no one knows what they're talking about. So where does that leave us? The call to action here is, instead of just assuming what someone believes, talk to them. Don't just assume because they identify as liberal. They could have been having a conversation with their conservative family, and so they think the term liberal is just a binary way to say, I'm on the political left. And so they're like, I'm liberal. But don't just take that at face value and say, oh, they're this like horrible person, like subscribe all these things. Like, have a conversation. Talk to them, be like, what do you believe? Like, these statements online about like, I hate liberals, crazy business. Let's have conversations. Let's model proper political discourse. Let's explain our reasoning for like why we believe in certain political, social, economic systems, and yeah, have some respectful conversation as a result.